Hey friends, welcome back to the Bald Booktuber. My name is Scott. It has been a minute since my last video, so welcome back if you are returning. Welcome if it's your first time. I thought it was a good chance to do an update on what I have been reading, watching, doing in the month of October. Sadly, my reading time has not been a lot this month, but I'm enjoying what I'm reading for the most part. So that is a very good thing. So let me talk about the primary things I'm reading, which will not take a long time, and then we'll get into some of the other stuff that's going on this month. This is not the right cover. I read this last month, obviously, but I am going through the advanced reader copy of Ashes of Man by Christopher Rocchio. I'll put that graphic up on the screen. I'm about halfway through, so I estimate that's roughly where I'm at with the book. Really, really enjoying it. I don't know where it's going to fall in terms of my favorite of the series. After this most recent reread, I think I would probably so far order them Demon in White and then Kingdoms of Death, which I flip those two a lot, and then Howling Dark and then Empire of Silence, although I love all four books very much, and it's just a matter of mild preferences. There's really nothing that makes any of them less than the others. It's more a matter of what makes them more than the others, if that makes sense. So I am very much enjoying it. It's a little bit different tone and feel than the other books, which I'll get into more specifics when I do a review of the book. I've been bad about reviewing the ones leading up to this point. Maybe at some point I will do those reviews as well. But I definitely will be doing a dedicated review to Ashes of Man once I have completed it. But it is very, very good. Those of you that have been waiting for it and will be reading it on release on December 13th, you're going to be in for a very good time. So that's been great. And then my other big project has been a reread of The Five Warrior Angels by Brian Lee Durfee. He has book 3 and the concluding book, The Lonesome Crown, coming out next month, end of next month, November 29th, I want to say. But I did put in a request for an advanced reader copy for that as well. It's available on NetGalley to request, so if I get that, I'll be able to bump that up a little bit as well, which will be great. I am immersively rereading them with my guy, Tim Gerard Reynolds, doing the narration. He's exceptional, especially well suited to this story. So I have already completed book 1, The Forgetting Moon. I completed that, I want to say 4 or 5 days ago. Fantastic reread, very, very good on reread. I think what I love about Durfee's writing is he writes in-world religion better than anyone I've ever seen. And I've read a lot of fantasy books with a lot of made-up in-world religions, and this one definitely takes the cake. He uses 4 or 5 religious texts within the story as sort of a way to illuminate additional points and to talk further about the characterizations and about the prophecies and this kind of stuff. And it's interesting to me because these religious texts often contradict one another. And of course, you don't know what is right, wrong, or indifferent. You have to sort of figure that stuff out along the way. I think Brian does a wonderful job with that kind of ambiguity, I guess, in the storyline. You never really know what's happening. It's told from a multi-point of view perspective, similar to A Song of Ice and Fire, which is my favorite way to read a story. So I like bouncing around in other people's heads, and it's all third person, multi-point of view. So I really, really enjoy that. I like that some characters have access to information that others don't. It's a limited multi-point of view, which again is my favorite type of storytelling. So I really, really enjoy it. I'll talk again more about this as we go along and decide whether I'm going to review the original books as well as the new one. I should because they're fantastic books that more people need to read. So that one is in the books, as it were. And then I have barely started, and by barely started, I mean 100 pages worth of The Blackest Heart, which in my memory I enjoyed significantly more than The Forgetting Moon. It was one of my favorite books of 2020. Yeah, I read it in 2020. And so far, I'm having a fantastic time. He delves deeper into some of the aspects of the world building and the characterization that I loved in The Forgetting Moon, and goes deeper into those in The Blackest Heart. I think we're left on something of a cliffhanger, if I recall correctly. I'll remember soon when I get this wrapped up, but with the concluding volume coming very, very soon, that's not a problem. So, yeah, all very, very good. But just for whatever reason, my reading time has been minimized this month. I don't know if I'm just being lazy or if I'm dedicated to other stuff or what, if it's an issue with something else, I don't know. But I haven't gotten nearly as much done as I would have liked. But that's all right. I still have half a month to go, so we'll see what we can get done. So that's where we're at in terms of reading. In terms of what I've been watching, I've continued to love everything about House of the Dragon. It's my favorite show on TV. Probably, as things stand, will be a top 5 show ever for me, unless things radically change. I've been continuing to have discussions with Mike and Madison over on Mike's channel. I'll have that linked in the description. Please do come and check that out. If you have time on Monday nights, usually Mondays when we get together. We had it Tuesday last week because Mike was doing some traveling and wasn't feeling so good. So, but yeah, typically it'll be Mondays. It'll be Monday this week. And we're getting towards the end. So we have 2 episodes to go. And I am very much looking forward to seeing how things wrap up for this season. The only challenge, and this is a pretty big challenge for me, is they haven't even started production of season 2 yet. So it's going to be a long wait. So that's just how it goes sometimes, I suppose. I am overjoyed with the success of the show. I'm overjoyed with the reception. I knew that it was going to be a show specifically for me. I didn't know if other people would be super into it or not, given what is being adapted and the time frame and that kind of stuff. But very, very well received, both critics and audience alike. So great stuff. Super enjoying it. I had done a video prior to the show starting about the top 10 reasons I was excited about it. I think once episode 10 airs, what I'll do is a recap video of that video where I talk about each of the 10 points and see how right or wrong I was in my own estimation. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I did finish watching Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings adaptation. Here's what I'll say about this. I didn't enjoy myself particularly throughout this show. So there were certainly some very cool scenes individually. Some of the settings were absolutely amazing. Seeing Khazad-dûm in its highest form, in its prime, was very, very cool. And you know, the Dwarf Lords at their prime was very cool. I enjoyed aspects of Numenor. It definitely looked cool initially. I'll get into more of that later. I'm going to focus just on the stuff I liked for this segment. I want to stay positive. I think that the woman playing Disa was absolutely amazing. I thought she was fantastic in that role. I would have liked to see her on screen a lot more. Her relationship with Doran the Third was very, very cool. you believed, or at least I did, that they had a wonderful romance going, and that they had an equal partnership and these kinds of things. That was quite good to see. But she was barely on screen. She had a few scenes, and that was about it. I would have liked more from her and more from their family. I thought that the actor playing Elrond, who also played young Ned Stark in the original Game of Thrones, was quite good in that role. I think I felt like his dialogue was written fairly sharply, relatively to some of the other stuff in the show. I believed in his, at least, motivations and what he was standing for, and what he was trying to accomplish. So that was good. And then I mentioned Diesel already. During the third and even during the second, the king of the dwarves, I thought, were very well portrayed. I thought the actors did a phenomenal job. So there was people and things that I definitely enjoyed about the show. As I said, I'll stick to what I enjoyed. That list is a lot shorter than the things I did not. So if you're interested in a dedicated review of the show, or maybe a top 10 things that didn't work for me for Rings of Power, let me know, and I'll put that together. Otherwise, just know it was overall a disappointment for me. It was not what I was hoping to see. I didn't feel like it captured the spirit and the essence of Tolkien in the way that I would have liked. But if you love it, that's fantastic. I want people to love things, and when fantasy shows do well, that's good for all of us, because it means more fantasy adaptations potentially have a chance. So that's good. So that's really what I've been watching. So I don't watch a lot of TV, so when I'm watching 2 shows at a time, that's a lot. So that's that. But other than that, I couldn't even really tell you what else I've been doing, because it's not exciting stuff. I've been following a lot of chess. There's a lot of high-level tournaments going on right now with the best players in the world, so that is exciting to me. But for most people, you're going to glaze over if I talk about that stuff, so I won't, which is fine. But other than that, we're going a little bit long here, so I should probably wrap things up. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I do hope that I would have completed a few more books by the time we do the wrap up at the end of the month. But please stay safe, keep reading great things, and as always, publication order always, my friend.